Okay, so as you can see, if you double click on the Microsoft project, that is the either on the desktop or from any place where you actually installed the software, you can actually get to this particular place. Okay, so as you can see, we have a blank project, we have a new from existing project, and then we have a new Excel workbook. All right, and then we have this software development and all that. These are existing templates to see how some of those things look like. Okay, so now we have the same new here, and then we have open. Now, this new, that's to say you want to open a new project as well, or a new blank project, or if you use this open here, that is to say you want to open an existing work that you have already saved, okay? So it's just it's the same with Microsoft Word, okay? So I'll just click on blank project so that it open a new environment for us to work with. Okay, so this is Microsoft project for project management. Okay, from the beginning, we have talked about some of these things that we are seeing here. We'll talk about resources, we talk about tasks. Okay, we talk about duration, we talk about start and finish, we talk about predecessors and all that. Okay, so we are talking about summary tasks, milestones, and many other terminology that we actually discussed from our first section. All right. So now this is your Microsoft project. So if you have a project that is supposed to schedule, from my first explanation, I say that it is better you actually itemize the sequence of that particular project. Okay. So if you itemize them or list them down, and then possibly the duration as well, doing it with the software now become very easy. It's as simple as you typing the name of the task and then specify the duration, if you can see my screen very well. So now, without doing any setting, actually I did not do any setting here, right? Now, the only thing I will make sure that we do so that even if you cannot be able to actually do any setting, you can at the same time produce a simple sketch or a simple schedule for your project, okay, without going any much advanced way of scheduling, okay? So I'll go straight to the point without doing any setting, okay, and do a simple schedule. So for example, from the introduction, I talk about auto schedule, and then we talk about manual schedule, right? Okay, now, if you look at this, this is task mode, right? This is task mode. If I click on this bar here under the task mode, there is an arrow which I click, and then I'll specify if it is manual, all right, and then if it is auto schedule that I want. Now you see that I put it on auto schedule. You see that it automatically specified a duration of 1 day for me, and then it's starting from today and then finishing today as well, because it's 1 day, right? I actually did not put any information, but if you put it on manual schedule, you understand, if you put it on manual schedule, it will not give you any information. So you are the one to impute them yourself, okay? For example, if I click on this second column, and then I put it on manual schedule, you discover that it's still blank, all right? It's still blank because you use manual. But if I go there and then change it to auto schedule, it automatically specifies the duration, the start date, and then the finish date, all right? And then based on the calendar, it's starting from today, which is 1st September 2023, all right? Now, from our sequence of constructions of 2 bedrooms that I've showed from our previous section, the first thing we have is actually site preparation. So what you need to do is just to write site preparation, okay? Now, as I said, this site preparation can also be break down into different tasks, okay? But this particular workshop, we are going to use this short sequence that we have to actually practicalize what we're supposed to learn, right? So I write site preparation, okay, and then I'll put it on auto schedule, okay. Now, if I put it on auto schedule, now it automatically shows that we are starting the project today. But what if you are not actually starting today? Let's assume you want to start tomorrow or you want to start on Monday, all right? So I will click on, and then how many days? So now let's say site preparation, you want to use like 2 days to prepare the site. So you want to start, possibly want to start to prepare the site starting from tomorrow, or let's say you start on Monday. So on Monday, which is 4th. So now you see, as I click on this arrow here, it display the calendar. So I will select from Monday, which is 4th September. So I'll select it. All right. Monday, which is 4th September, you enter a start date for site preparation that is close to the finish date. Okay, that is close to the finish date. So because if you look at this, the finish date is on 4th based on is already on 4th based on what we have already selected from here, what is auto schedule, but we can move it. Okay, so now you can move. That's what they say. You enter a start date for site preparation that is close to the finish date. All right, for ID2. So now, but you can link them. Site preparation will always follow ID2. Okay, or move site preparation without adding a link. So let me just move site preparation without adding the link. All right, so site preparation has moved to Monday, and then we are having the bar here. Okay, that is the auto schedule of this MS project. It automatically gives you the bar chart, all right, which is actually the function or one of the important thing about scheduling or about using MS project. You understand? So now, if I specified that we are starting on Monday and is 2 days, then the finish date it automatically selected, which is on 5th, right? So we are starting on 4th, and then we are finishing on 5th, which because it's 2 days. All right. Then the next task is already in the auto mode. The next task is foundation, right? After site preparation. So I say foundation. Okay, foundation comes with a lot of tasks or a lot of activities under it, but we can just specify a duration that can cover it. So if I said, okay, excavating needs to take 4 days, okay, and then you should start on, after our site preparation, should start on 6th. So I will select this. It should start on 6th and move without adding a link. So now you can see we have this without adding the link. All right. Then another way of doing it is, for example, you see that it's like this, right? I just press undo on my keyboard to take it back to the former date that it was. Now, another way of linking them is me clicking on this arrow here, that is on this bar, click it and hold it down and drag to this place, right? If I drag it to the second item, it will automatically link it. Now, but what this means is that you must finish site preparation before you start any foundation activities. But a situation where you're having a project that possibly you need to, it's possible that when we start site preparation on Monday, and then it's finishing on Tuesday, which is 5th, that foundation can also start on that the same 5th, right? So they are telling us that that you move a foundation to start before the site preparation finish, and the two tasks are linked. As a result, the link cannot be honored, right? So now I will say, okay, remove the link and move the foundation to start on September 5th. So I'll remove it, and then I'll click OK. So you see, it has moved it. So even when the site preparation has not finished, the foundation starts. All right. So the same thing applies to any other functions, because if you actually break foundation down into maybe excavation, blinding, backfilling, any other activities that is involved, then we are going to have a lot of tasks under it. Okay, we are going to have a lot of tasks or a lot of activities under it. All right. So the next sequence after foundation is superstructure, right? Okay. So I'll go back to superstructure. Okay, I'll go back to superstructure. All right, so that's my next item. So here on this column, I'll click and then I'll select auto schedule. All right, then I'll now write superstructure. Superstructure. And then now, superstructure can take possibly like up to like 10 or 15 days. Let's say 15 days. All right. Now, we are talking about foundation activities. I think it is better based on the construction that maybe your superstructure actually covered up to maybe oversight concrete, right? So now, if your superstructure covered up to oversight concrete, then you need to finish your foundation before the superstructure. So at that point, we can link this, okay? Now, another way you can link it without dragging, because I used my first approach, I drag from the first bar to the second bar, right? Another way is to select the two tags, which is this and then this, all right? I select two of them, and then on the top here, I click on link the selected tags. So I'll click on it. So you see, from the bar here, you see that it linked them. All right, it actually linked them. Okay, so this is how you link them when you don't want to use the drag or any other method. There are many methods you can use to all those, but I'm trying to do a general overview so that even without doing a setting, because if you start going to all those settings and all that, you might get confused. So I just want to give you an overview of the general approach of how this thing will work, so that even without schedule, you can actually, without settings, you can actually produce a simple schedule. All right. So I continue. The next item is plumbing and electrical, right? So we can specify auto schedule, and then we are using plumbing slash electrical work. All right. So now, how many days will this take? So let's assume I use like 6 days. Okay. Let's say I use like 6 days for that. And then plumbing and electrical work can actually start possibly within these days that we are working with the superstructure, right? Possibly plumbing can also start as we are maybe after the block work and all that, or even along with the block work. So we can just say that based on the fact that the plumbing and the electrical is taking only 6 days, then we can start the plumbing and electrical. For example, now, superstructure is starting on 11th of September and is ending on 29th, right? So we can decide, okay, our plumbing and electrical can start 29. We can decide to start on 25th of September, right? Okay, on 25th of September, and then the finish date now is going to be 2nd of October. So you see, and then now look at it. Look at it. Based on, if you see under predecessor now, you see that we have 2 here, right? Now, the reason why we're having 2 under predecessor here is because we link item 2, right? The ID 2, we link it to ID 3, okay? And then under ID 3, we are having 2. That's to say ID 3 is succeeding ID 2, right? That's to say you must finish ID 2 before you go to ID 3. Okay, that is the reason of putting this 2 on this predecessor. This is automatic. You are right. You are not the one to put it. As far as you link your task, you can input it like that. Or you can also use this predecessor to at the same time link your task. For example, if I put that, okay, my ID 2 is preceding ID 1. So if I put 1 under this ID 2, you see that it automatically link ID 1 and ID 2 together. Okay, so you can link your task using the predecessor. You can link your task by dragging it. You can link your task by using the link button or the link tools here. All right, I believe you guys are following. All right, so we have specified that plumbing should start and then finish on the same day with this superstructure. Okay, and the other electrical activities. Okay, so depends. Or we can decide, okay, like let it take 7 days, so that there will be 1 day after the superstructure, so that you can actually do your pressure testings and all that for your electrical. Depend on the sequence, or your mechanical as well. Right. So okay, the next is door and window. All right, that is door and window installation. So I'll go here and then I put door/window installation. Door/window installation. Right. So how many? And then here now you see that based on the fact that it's manual schedule, this is the icon for manual schedule, right? So now based on, I've not selected auto schedule yet. So if I click here, I'll select auto schedule, right? So I'll come here and then specify the duration. Door and window schedule for 2-bedroom flat can take 4 days, all right? Okay, and then when is it starting? It should start possibly maybe as this is starting on 25th. Door and window schedule can decide. We can say that, okay, let it start on the 28th of September, all right? So we start on 28th of September, and then we increase it to something like 5, so that we have additional days after the sequence, after the other activities ahead. All right. So then the next one is the next activities is roofing. So I will input the roofing. I'll input the roofing and then auto schedule, and then roofing should come even before the door and roof this thing finish. You can actually do your roofing activities depending on how the duration, the total durations for that particular job, or when you're supposed to finish, or the time required for you to finish the project. So I can specify the roofing to be 2 days. 2 days is okay for 2-bedroom to roof 2-bedroom, or let me just say 3 days to roof 2-bedroom. Okay, this duration that I'm specifying has nothing to do with standard. As I said, the duration is always based on experience. So I specified, okay, that let's start it on this 30th. Okay, so you move roofing to start on non-working days. Now, based on the fact that we have not done any setting, I could have talked about the standard working days that we have. You remember the standard working days we have, we don't work Saturday and Sunday, but based on construction, you can set that, okay, your company work on Saturday, and then the working hours, we work 8 hours, which I'm going to explain all that when we go into settings. But all these ones, I just want us to have the general overview so that you can actually have something to practice tonight. You understand? Because if you go and do settings, it will become activities that will actually feel as if the stop is difficult, but it's not actually difficult. All right, so they are telling us that you move the roofing to start a non-working days, which is the Saturday. Okay, make Saturday now. They are telling us, okay, make a Saturday, September 30, 23 a working days. I'll mark it a working day so that we start. So you see, now it becomes, now if you see the line here now, you see the line here become 1. Now you see this line here, if you are seeing my cursor, the line here is 1, and then the line here is 2, and then the line here is 1, because here now at this point, Saturday become working days. It's only Sunday that is not working days here, right? But here, both Saturday and Sundays are working days, but you can do your settings to make even the Sunday to be working days, okay? Because there are some organizations, possibly if you find yourself in a factory or in any places that you see that they work on Saturday, or a particular project that actually requires urgent attention that you require you to work on Saturday. All right. So that is that. I'll go to, that is roofing, all right? So the next sequence is interior finishes, okay? So I will impute interior finishes, or let me just put finishes or interior finishes. Okay, I'll put interior finishes, interior finishes. Okay, I'll put interior finishes, and then I'll specify that is auto schedule, and then interior finishes, which has to do with other a lot of tasks there, or a lot of activities. So we can specify maybe like 6 days. Okay, but the interior finishes can actually start. But for the risk sake, we can just decide that, okay, let them finish the roofing before we do any interior finishes, to avoid for safety rules. Okay, for safety rules in construction, because if they are doing roofing and other activities are going on, people are up working, and then somebody is down working, is prone to risk. So as a project manager, you actually need to put that into considerations, okay, or as a safety officers, right? So I can just decide, okay, let me just link my interior finishes to the roofing. That's to say, let the roofing finish. Okay, let the roofing finish before the interior finishes, right? So now you see, I'm using the approach of linking. All right, I can use the approach of linking. I can use the approach of selecting the two item here, or the two tags, and use the link here. Or I can use the approach of linking it using the predecessor. All right. So any approach that is easier for you or that you understand, you can use it. So now I've already linked this to this, and it has already imputed that, okay, item 7 is actually preceding preceding item 6, right? All right. So item 7 is preceding item 6, yes. All right. So we continue to our next and the last task. Okay, and the last sequence here, which is exterior finishes. So I'll put specified auto schedule, and then I'll put exterior finishes. Exterior finishes. All right. And then exterior finish has to do with all the landscaping and any other things that is required. So I think giving it like 5 days or even more is not a bad idea. It depends on the day that is available for you. All right. So as there's interior finishes going on, the exterior finish can also be working concurrently, right? So, but I can say that the exterior finishes is starting on 4th and is ending on 11th. So exterior finishing can start on the 6th of this time now, on the 6th of October now. So I have to move forward, right? On the 6th of October. So I'll select this, okay, and then it will be finishing on the 12th of October, right? So now, from here now, you have This is the a complete schedule of constructing 2-bedroom flats. All right. So I don't know if anybody have question as regard to what we have done so far.